Hi guys, today we're going to react to One Left Standing by Freeze the Fall. First time reaction, we do not know this band. This is a Buy Me a Coffee request from Lost Hate. Thank you, Lost Hate, for this request. Much appreciated for all your support.
Thank you, Lost Hate, for another request. We appreciate the support. As far as the band goes, all we know about them is that they're a trio, and I think they're all under 20 years old, and they're a Canadian band.
I can't seem to find a use for my time. Sit and stare behind, and I can't seem to find the evidence inside. Show the world I won't be broken. I don't know to have to come in last, or to know you're all alone in first. Wish I could stare inside your heart, then I'd understand why you held on, but I just couldn't. The face inside my dreams was me, and I gave in everything. Ain't it funny how it all just fades away now? And as we fall apart, I can't seem to break my fall. Thought I'd be the one left standing, held on too close to letting go, and now there's nothing left. Heard the blue-eyed girl who saved me.
This episode is going to be a little bit funny because I'm visibly stunned as they started singing. You remember when we talked about when you hear a band for the first time, and it takes you like a millisecond to get mesmerized and to know that you're going to love them? This is exactly what happened to me with this one. First thing that came to mind is the music video is shot in a somewhat retro style, somewhat very accurately 80s style. It gives out a nostalgic energy. They're very young, a different type of experience, I think. Their lead vocalist, I don't know why, she reminds me of Courtney Love. She doesn't sing like her, but she reminds me of Courtney Love. You know that structure that I love, the three-member lineup, bass, guitar, and drums. That coupled with their amazing sound, and they truly have an amazing sound. Their signature is very pleasurable. It's engaging from the first second. And at some point when they went into that transition, they reminded me of The Warning. For some reason, they have a hint of the same energy in that transition. Just beautiful.
The Courtney Love thing didn't really cross my mind. As far as The Warning, there's something in the sound that, like in that sort of maybe half chorus that got there that made me kind of think of it. There is a similarity in the voice as well, I think, in the way it feels like the lead singer here, I think her name is Quinn, and she attacked the song a little bit. It felt that way, you know, like there's a certain conviction that we hear from The Warning. I like the black and white kind of retro feel. There's something about it that feels very kind of mainstream rock, but there is a hint to them being kind of old souls, if you know what I mean. You know, being so young and producing this kind of sound that sounds really good. And her voice is fantastic. That's what threw me off at first. I think I was really surprised by how good her voice is. It kind of gave me goosebumps. And I always say, you know, the goosebumps never lie. The fact that she also wrote the lyrics is interesting. So far, I'm both intrigued and thoroughly enjoying it.
Yeah.
Who saved me? Show
I'm still stunned. Those goosebumps you mentioned, I'm feeling them. I'm feeling them throughout the music video. They are young, but there's either they're natural performers, either they were born to be on stage and this is some sort of that's how they perform, or they have something in their past, something melancholic that makes them be this authentic. Each and every one of them, it's not a show. It's like they're showing us pieces of themselves. It's so authentic. And to see that from such young people, it threw me off a bit. And I'm so engaged in the music video, and this is a very pleasurable surprise to experience this band.
I'd love to see them live to know more, because as you and I both know, with a music video, there's a lot of editing involved.
Yeah.
So we can't fully tell. Before I mentioned that the lead singer's name is Quinn, I'll just introduce the other two while I'm at it. The bass player, her name is Aria, and the one on drums is Jonah. I mentioned this earlier. There's a feeling that like they're old souls, you know, as a band, very young, either still teenagers or just out of being a teenager. And even what they're singing about here is kind of, it feels reflective, especially Quinn, the way she performs, the way she's singing the song. When she reaches the lower parts, she reminds me a little bit of like the Warning, you know, of Daniela. She goes into these falsettos that are just beautiful. In other parts of the songs, it felt like she was going into falsetto in sections that I wouldn't have expected her to, in a way, which was interesting.
Using what we know about the Warning, I can better maybe describe what I'm seeing here. When we see Daniela perform, even in music videos, she conveys ferocity as she engages with the camera off and she looks directly at the lens. She shows immense amounts of energy when she performs. In comparison, in here, what we see is this cold gaze that's coming from Quinn. It's like she came from a different century. As you said, they feel like old souls. They're not playing characters. It's them. We're actually seeing them. That's what it feels like. So authentic.
I think all of that comes down to the feeling that this song is personal, that Queen wrote this from personal experience. It's all saying something. So when she's singing it, she's feeling it. And I'm definitely enjoying, you know, watching that.
Find myself again, and as we fall apart, I can't seem to break my fall. Thought I'd be the one left standing, held on too close to letting go, and now there's nothing left. Hurt the blue-eyed girl who saved me.
Very impressive. And I just want to say that every time I saw Jonah, the drummer, he just looks to me like he's come from a vampire movie.
He's in torment.
When he
That's what
plays
I wanted to say. Yeah.
He's the character of a vampire.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
very good. It's just very, very impressive.
Yeah. And you know what I'm saying? He's not even Jonah. He's not playing a character. That's him. That's Jonah. That's what we're looking at. That's what it seems like. Either
He
he's
is a real life vampire.
I can't emphasize it enough. I don't feel like I've looked at a performance. I feel like I looked at a part of their psyche. Even at the end, when she exhales, it's like it took a lot of energy to get it out. Judging from the lyrics, it feels like a case of maybe a tumultuous failed relationship that left all parties injured. And the song is a way to process the hardship and to go back to point of origin, to go back to start rebuilding so they can recover from it. There's a line there that caught my attention where it says, "And as we fall apart, I can't seem to break my fall." So the ending of that relationship, or subjective interpretation, means that this person was left in shambles. They were falling uncontrollably. They had nothing to soften the blow with it. So it came maybe as a surprise, or it came with enough force to put them out of balance. So that's what they're dealing with. And then there's another line that hints that this is maybe a survival situation. They survived this relationship and now they're rebuilding themselves. I'll waste my time here in my mind until I find myself again. That's what it says to me. It's the aftermath of a failed relationship or some disaster in a relationship. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's not a failed relationship, but maybe somebody died, but I don't know. I just can't put my finger on it. And I think that's part of the joy, part of the intrigue that I feel.
I think it might involve many relationships even. I think it might encompass relationships in there. I think it's reflecting back about a past and about the present. It's kind of like comparing between the two. In certain places, it spots, like he talked about dreams and, you know, what the dream was and where you are now. And if you knew then what you know now, that kind of thing. That's what it felt like. So I'm not 100% sure it's about relationships. I initially thought so. That line, you know, that says, heard the blue-eyed girl who saved me. I thought that was about a relationship. And then it got me thinking, I think she's talking about herself. I think she is the blue-eyed girl. And this is a sort of reflecting inward. I'll first say that it's strange that these lyrics are coming from such a young person, because it feels like something that I would hear from someone way older. At least my interpretation of it, about time, how fleeting time can be, and how life moves so quickly, and about change and where you find yourself and where you thought you would find yourself. That are two completely different things. The dreams, the goals, the targets you put on for yourself when you're younger, and then where you end up. Some might be better, some worse, but you never feel like you are where you thought you would be, in a way, because you set impossible goals for yourself. And it feels like it's kind of weighing on the narrator, and this is like a therapy session, you know, getting this out in a song. So I think even that line, you know, about the blue-eyed girl, it looks at pain she may have felt, or things that caused her pain when she was younger, and sort of where she is now. The decisions she's made brought her to a place where she's hurt the young girl, if you know what I mean. That's what it felt like to me, like feeling a certain type of emptiness in her current place, you know, where she is right now in a current position. So there's an element of regret in there as well, which to me is a little bit optimistic, because knowing this was written by someone who's basically younger than 20 years old, there's still a lot of life to experience and still a long way to go. Some things might feel like they're bigger than they are at that age. But it's just beautiful to see how deep the lyrics can be from someone so young, and I'm loving it. That is also something we've said about many young bands, like The Warning and the Sixters and bands like that, that they write these beautiful lyrics that are tough to interpret somehow, open to interpretation, unclear, but you can sense the depth, that there's like an artist behind them. And I love that about this band. I love the song and I love the lyrics inside it. And I'm not sure I got any of that right. You know, it's just how it made me feel, that's all.
Yeah. I think we both project from our own experience, and it correlates with things that we know about life from our, you know, from our old age.
Absolutely.
But the grimness and the pain that resonate from the music video kind of makes you bring up the notion that it feels like too much baggage to be burdened by such a young life. The amount of experience that this person had to go through in order to express such pain, it must have been vast for it to be concentrated in few years of living as a young adult. Past puberty, and we're talking about like 3-4 years, if they're before 20, so that's in those 3-4 years, all hell broke loose that made them this melancholic. And so it might have been, or we might be interpreting it from our own crack old scope, but there's beauty in it. Give credit when credit is due. This is an amazing band.
Absolutely fantastic. Yeah, really enjoyed it. Thank you, Lost Hate, for this amazing request. Absolutely fantastic. We love this band. We appreciate the support. Keep it coming. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Lost Hate, for the introduction to Freeze the Fall. We enjoyed reacting to them very much. Please, more like this. If you enjoyed this episode, guys, please be sure to like, subscribe, comment, and click the little bell icons. You'll get notified on all our future videos. If you have a request you'd like bumped up the line, please make it through Buy Me a Coffee. All contributions are, of course, very much appreciated. Thank you all for sticking with us. Thank you all for your time.
Thanks a lot, guys. We appreciate all the support coming our way. We'll be back in a couple of days with a new episode for you, and we hope to see you then. Thanks again. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.